Now, what are the characteristic features of the culture to which we belong? Some defining features. Now, the first important feature is that every act is done with due resolve and commitment. That is, we do sankalpa. We resolve in order to realize the four goals of human existence. So, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. This is the first important feature of our culture. Then every individual is bound by the laws of karma, the theory of karma, as all of you know. Karma is the principle by which an individual's thoughts and words and actions create consequences in the present as well as in the future. Then it offers an ethical framework in which each bears responsibility and accountability for the choices freely made. Now, we have freedom to choose, freedom to act, but whatever we do will have a consequence, will produce a result, and we are responsible and accountable for the result made, for the results made by our choices. Then there is possibility for everyone to make and remake their lives and destiny. Many people ask, is there free will in our culture? Yes, there is free will. Though there is destiny, but we can alter the destiny by exercising our free will. Then another important principle is reincarnation, or punarjanma as it is called. Now, the actions that we do, they may bear all the results in this janma, or some of them will be carried over to the next janma. And therefore, now we believe in this theory of reincarnation or punarjanma. Then, karma is not something that God acting arbitrarily. It has nothing to do with God. Karma is something which we do, and we face the consequences, and we are accountable for the consequences for what we have done. Nor is it a random occurrence, because there is something of a rule here, you see. Whatever you do, if you sow an apple seed, you get only an apple, nothing else. Therefore, whatever action you do, it has its own consequence. And it is the individual ego that creates karma. The ego, the aham. By making choices, and because choices are made and actions are taken, the consequences are faced by the ego, and then the ego is bound by the consequences. Now, when the individual ego transforms itself and loses its separateness from the ultimate reality, such a release is called liberation. So, liberation or moksha is just getting free from the bondage that karma has imposed on us. Now, another defining feature of our culture is inwardness. I just made a mention of that. Yoga means looking in. Now, this is an inwardness. Action is two-directional, outward bound or inward bound. When an action is outward bound, it is called pravrutti. When it is inward bound, it is called nivrutti. Now, this nivrutti is helpful in doing yogic practices like pranayama, dharana, dhyana, etc. Now, our ancient rishis, they were able to attain deep meditative states in which they discovered and realized many valuable truths through this inwardness. It is not by the exercise of intellect that they realize these truths. It is only by looking into themselves, by getting into states of meditation, deep states of meditation, that they were able to realize many of these truths. So, it is important to practice exploring the inner dimension. Then another defining feature is the use to which the human body is put. Now, I want you to pay some special attention to this particular aspect in our culture. The human body, it is a very important instrument given to us by God. It is an instrument given to us to perform dharmic work. It is an instrument of knowing, and higher knowing is within the body, and the ancient rishis discovered several practices to bring about transformation through yoga and sadhana. And each family in our culture traces its origin back to a particular rishi, and the legacy is passed on from generation to generation. And the concept of family, as it developed in our Samskriti, promoted dharmic values in a practical manner, both by precept and practice. It is of our culture. And this concept of the family, the Hindu joint family as it is called, it has several important features. Values were handed down from generation to generation. It's not like today when you read a book and you try to understand something and then you try to practice. Now, knowledge and value systems, they were passed down, they were handed down from generation to generation, both by precept and practice. They were explaining these values, they were practicing these values, and helping the next generation to acquire the practice. Of course, not satisfied with mere survival, however comfortable and technology driven it might be, everyone should through sadhana seek the ultimate goal of liberation. Then the ancient rishis have set the example of Svadharma by doing tapas and swadhyaya. And everyone, according to our tradition, is required to observe the daily anusthana, which is a set of spiritual practices. Then another important feature of our culture, the perhaps a very great legacy we have inherited, is the discovery of Sanskrit by our ancient rishis. Sanskrit language was discovered, and then it has tremendous potential contained in it. I'll come to that shortly. Now, the Sanskrit sounds, they are mantric in their vibrational effect and reach deeper levels of consciousness to effect transformation.